Most people think you need hundreds of thousands of dollars to earn passive income from dividends. But what if I told you just $10,000 could start paying you every single month? Imagine waking up, checking your account, and seeing fresh cash flow without lifting a finger. In this video, I'll break down exactly how to build a $10,000 dividend portfolio, which ETFs and stocks can give you monthly payouts, and the realistic income you can expect in 2026. No hype, no fluff, just the math, the strategy, and the freedom number you need to start your journey today. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to make your money work for you every month.
My name is Lewis, and I spend way too much time thinking about dividend investing, passive income, and how regular people can actually build wealth without having a finance degree or a rich uncle. If you're someone who knows you should be investing, but you feel overwhelmed by all the noise, the stock picks, the Reddit threads, the people on social media flashing their portfolios, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. All right, let's get into it. Now, before I show you the actual portfolio, I need to explain why dividends specifically, because there's a psychological reason this strategy works so well that nobody talks about. Here's what most people don't realize. The biggest problem with investing isn't picking the right stocks. It's not timing the market. The biggest problem is that people quit. A study from Dalbar, they're a financial research firm that's been tracking investor behavior for decades, found that the average equity investor earned roughly 6.8% annually over 20 years, while the S&P 500 returned about 9.6% over that same stretch. That's a massive gap. And it's not because people picked bad stocks. It's because they panicked. They sold at the wrong time. They got scared during a dip, pulled their money out, and then watched the market recover without them. Dividends solve this problem in a way that most people don't appreciate. When your portfolio is paying you cash every single month, you have a reason to stay in the game. The market drops 15%? Sure, that's stressful. But your dividend payments keep coming. You're still getting paid. And that psychological anchor, that regular deposit hitting your account, it keeps you from making the emotional decision that destroys most investors' returns. You're not just buying stocks, you're building a paycheck. And that reframe changes everything about how you interact with the market. So here's where it gets really interesting. Most dividend stocks pay quarterly. That means if you just buy one stock, you're getting paid 4 times a year. But if you're strategic about which stocks you pick, you can stagger those payments so that something is hitting your account every single month. The way this works is actually pretty simple. You pick stocks or funds that pay in different months. Some companies pay in January, April, July, and October. Others pay in February, May, August, and November. And the rest pay in March, June, September, and December. You build your portfolio across all 3 of those cycles, and suddenly, you've got 12 payments a year. Now, you might be thinking, Luis, that sounds great in theory, but what do I actually buy? I got you. Let me walk through a real portfolio. I'm going to keep this simple and grounded. I'm not going to tell you to buy some obscure small cap stock with a 14% yield that's probably about to cut its dividend. We're going for quality, stability, and realistic income. Here's a sample allocation using ETFs, because for most people starting, ETFs give you instant diversification without having to analyze 50 individual companies. First bucket, about $3,400, goes into the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. Ticker is SCHD. This pays in March, June, September, and December. The dividend yield fluctuates, but it's generally been in the 3.3% to 3.8% range. It holds companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Home Depot, big, boring, profitable businesses that have been paying dividends for decades. Second bucket, another $3,300,
goes into the Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF, ticker VYM. This one pays in the same quarterly cycle, but here's the key. Many people pair it with funds on different schedules. Or you can shift this allocation into something like the iShares Core Dividend Growth ETF, ticker DGRO, which has payments that help fill the gaps depending on the specific ex-dividend dates. For our purposes, we're going to place this second bucket into a fund covering the January, April, July, and October cycles. The third bucket, the remaining $3,300, goes into a fund that covers February, May, August, and November. A strong option here is the JP Morgan Equity Premium Income ETF, ticker JEPI, which has been incredibly popular because it targets a high monthly distribution. JPI actually pays monthly on its own, which makes it a cheat code for this strategy. So let's run the math. Assuming a blended portfolio yield of around 3.5% to 4%, your $10,000 portfolio generates roughly $350 to $400 per year. That's approximately $29 to $33 per month. I know, it's not rent money. Yet. But stay with me, because this is where the compounding conversation gets wild. Here's the thing about dividend investing that makes it fundamentally different from trying to trade your way to wealth. It's a system that feeds itself. Let's say you take that $33 a month and you reinvest it. That's called a DRIP, a dividend reinvestment plan. Most brokerages let you set this up automatically. You don't even have to think about it. Those reinvested dividends buy more shares. Those shares produce more dividends. Those dividends buy more shares, and on and on. But the real magic happens when you combine DRIP with regular contributions. Let's say you add just $200 a month to this portfolio, on top of the reinvested dividends. Nothing crazy. That's like skipping a few takeout orders and one streaming service you forgot you were paying for. After 5 years, assuming an average total return of around 8% annually, which accounts for both share price appreciation and reinvested dividends, your portfolio grows to roughly $25,000. Your annual dividend income is now approaching $900 a year. That's $75 a month, more than double where you started. After 10 years, you're sitting on approximately $50,000 to $55,000. Your monthly dividend income is in the $150 to $180 range. You added $200 a month, and time did the heavy lifting. And after 20 years, and I know 20 years sounds like forever, but it's gonna pass whether you invest or not, your portfolio is approaching $175,000 or more, and you're generating $500 plus per month in dividend income. At that point, your dividends alone are contributing a meaningful amount each month without you lifting a finger. This is where it gets really interesting. Because at some point in this process, your dividends are generating more new investment capital each month than your actual contributions. The portfolio starts to take on a life of its own. That's the inflection point. That's what you're building toward. Now, I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't talk about the traps, because there are a few mistakes I see people make over and over again that completely sabotage this strategy. Mistake number 1, chasing yield. Look, when you see a stock with a 9 or 10% dividend yield, your brain lights up. You think you found a cheat code. But here's what's actually happening most of the time. That yield is high because the stock price has been collapsing. The company might be in trouble. They might be about to cut the dividend entirely. A high yield is often a warning sign, not a gift. I'd rather own a stock yielding 3% that grows its dividend by 8% every year than a stock yielding 9% that cuts its payment next quarter. Mistake number 2, not diversifying across sectors. If your entire dividend portfolio is bank stocks and energy companies, you're taking on way more risk than you realize. When oil prices crash or the financial sector hits turbulence, your entire income stream gets disrupted. Spread it out. Consumer staples, healthcare, industrials, tech companies that pay dividends. Build a foundation, not a house of cards.
Mistake number 3, and this is the big one. Pulling your dividends out too early. I get it. You see that cash hit your account and you want to spend it. But every dollar you withdraw in the early years is a dollar that can't compound. Think of it like planting a tree and then pulling it out of the ground every few weeks to check the roots. Just let it grow.
I want to end on something that's a little more personal, because the mechanics of dividend investing are honestly not that complicated. Buy good funds, reinvest, add money regularly. Don't panic. A 12-year-old could understand the plan. The hard part is the patience. We live in a culture that glorifies the overnight success story. The crypto millionaire, the meme stock trader who turned $500 into $50,000. And those stories are real. But for every one of those, thousands of people lost everything trying the same thing. You just never hear about them because nobody makes a TikTok about losing their rent money.
Dividend investing is boring. I'm not going to pretend it's not. You're not going to impress anyone at a party by telling them about your SCHD position. But here's what I've learned. The boring strategies are the ones that actually work for regular people. The excitement in investing is usually a sign that you're taking on too much risk.
So if you're sitting there right now and you've got $500 or $1,000, or maybe you do have the full $10,000, start. Open a brokerage account today. Buy your first Dividend ETF this week. Set up automatic contributions, even if it's $50 a month. Turn on DRIP. And then do the hardest thing in all of personal finance. Be patient. You're going to look at your portfolio and see those monthly deposits stacking up. You're going to see your share count growing. And you're going to feel something that most people never experience with their money. Momentum. That feeling that your money is finally working for you instead of the other way around. If this video helped you see dividend investing differently, smash that subscribe button. I put out videos every week breaking down exactly how normal people can build real wealth without the gimmicks and the hype. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you starting your dividend portfolio from scratch, or are you adding to one you've already built? I read every single comment, and I'll see you in the next one.